Hi, I'm Hannah, and today I'm going to show you everything I packed for 3 days in Prague. I took the Fjallraven backpack, which has a 15-inch laptop compartment in the back. This is an amazing size of a backpack. It's crazy how much you can fit in here. And as you know, I'm on a journey to learn how to pack, but not overpack. And this was my attempt at doing that, but it's a work in progress, okay? Just give me some patience. Let's talk about travel outfit, first of all. I wore this exact outfit. Baba sweater, mock neck, Uniqlo men's smart trousers, black socks, putting paper down because I'm a germaphobe, Doc Martens, made in England, vintage. Ugh. These worked great, super comfortable. I mean, they're not the most comfortable, but for 3 days of solid walking, 18 to 20,000 steps a day, they were great. And of course, my trusty red scarf. That's what I wore. On the outside of my backpack, I had my shoehorn clipped in, so it works perfect for these shoes. Let's do front pocket first. So these are little things. The pocket of little things. A USB-C to USB-C. Keys. AirPods. Sunglasses. Lipstick. Dongle. Pen. Hand sanitizer. Wallet. Kleenex. Passport. Just keeps going, doesn't it? Pill container with ibuprofen and toothy tabs. One more thing that I already used this morning. Corded headphones. So of all of these things, I didn't use this. I didn't use these. I didn't use this. And I didn't use this. But I used all of this stuff. I don't know what that tells you. I don't know if, I was traveling with my family, so it wasn't like a solo trip where I would be like glued to my phone the whole time, which is when these normally come in handy. But I did use the AirPods on the way home. It's not so bad, I guess. All right, let's open her up. In the back, I carried this big book around that I didn't open at all. So I guess that goes here, and stuff that I didn't use. And then I also had space back here to put my house shoes, which I'm wearing right now. So I just put these in a cloth bag, and then I slid them in here. It's not a shoe compartment, and I'm always on the lookout for a more thin, flexible, lightweight pair of house shoes to use when traveling, but it worked. Side, I got my water bottle, which I used to carry matcha in the morning and then used for water when I got to the Airbnb. And that's it on the sides. It's open. This is a literal unpacking. Like, I haven't touched this stuff since I got back. So you're seeing what I actually brought with me untouched. A cloth bag, which would have been handy to have the one time we went to a grocery store and I didn't carry it. So I didn't use that technically. I bought a couple snacks. Ooh, crumbs. I bought a couple of snacks. I ate this one. Apple slices. I didn't eat the chocolate covered raisins. The Life Food Life Bar. Or the Choco Almond Flapjack. So those are things I didn't actually use. This converter it didn't really fit in the front pocket, so that's why it's in the main pocket, but I used that. Okay, soap, I use this. Menstrual cup, I use this. So this was new for me. I carried all of my cosmetics in this little Longchamp bag, and then when I got to the Airbnb, I took everything out and I put it in this little plastic sandwich bag. So I'll just take everything out. And I'll put everything that I used over here, everything I didn't use over here. Used, 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 used. I used this travel toothpaste, so I didn't use the toothy tabs. Didn't use. Used. 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 Didn't use. Didn't use. Nail clippers. And then it's just bobby pins in there, so I'm leaving those. So then when I got there, I attached this brown strap that I already had to the handle, and then I used this as like my mini crossbody bag. So I carried this and the camera that is being used to film this right now, and that was like my daily carry. And in here, I would put wallet, pen, hand sanitizer, sunglasses. And then, I mean, at the first day I carried this in there too, but I didn't end up using it. So that worked out pretty well. I bought these little connector bits on Etsy, and one of them works really well and the other one does not. I don't know if I'm doing user error, but I couldn't figure out how to attach it without letting it come loose. So that pissed me off. Like this was so annoying. So I would like to find a better solution for that. But this was a great size for daily carry walking around Prague. It worked out really well. I was happy with that. Okay, now we're into clothes. Yeah, I brought my fancy pajamas. What can I say? I like them. It's nice to have nice pajamas when you're not at home and when you're at home. This little piece that goes to the strap of my bag that I didn't use. I kept track of all of our expenses for every day that we were traveling in Berlin and in Prague, so I was writing everything down on that. I bought a chocolate bar that I didn't eat yet. Oh, we went to a walking tour, a World War II walking tour. I discovered my new historical crush, Jan Kubisch, who helped assassinate Holocaust architect Reinhard Heydrich. Reinhard Heydrich. So, yeah, very handsome. Loved him. I don't know what pile to put that in. He goes in the middle. Okay, so I carried my pajamas and clean underwear in this, and then I slowly filled it up with dirty clothes. So what do I have in here? I've got 3 pairs of dirty socks and 3 pairs of dirty underwear on one side, and then the other side, just my sleep mask, which was very needed in Prague. We stayed in a really central location, and the apartment itself was really nice, but the windows were not soundproof at all. You could hear literally everything going on outside, from throwing up, fighting, to sirens and cars, all through the night. So that was something that was different from our experience here in Berlin. The window quality. Maybe our apartment just has really good windows. So yeah, used everything in here. The packing cube fits perfectly inside the Fjallraven. So I love having this because it just makes everything fit perfectly, makes everything so compact. And then I also like having mesh bags to use as packing cubes too, because I can see what's inside and I can scrunch them up, and you can also use them as delicates bags when you're doing laundry. So these are very multi-purpose. I wore this, I think this is awesome, this silk shirt. I put it on and both my mom and my husband were like, that is so you. So yeah, love this. This turned out to be great while traveling because it was a layer, so it's functional in that way, but you can wear it open, you can wear it tucked in, or you can wear it buttoned up, not tucked in, underneath the sweater. So this was very versatile. Not necessarily fancy, but it's made of silk, so it kind of serves a fancy purpose. I wore that 2 days of the 3 days. Okay, then I also wore this short sleeve turtleneck that I thrifted in Berlin last week when my mom was here. I wore that 1 full day. It was a little bit cold in Prague, but not too bad. I didn't have any coat. I just wore this sweater and then layers. One tank top that I didn't wear, another tank top that I didn't wear, and then I also have, I think it's in here, a long sleeve Uniqlo Heat Tech turtleneck. Let me grab it. It's dirty, so it's right here. I knew that I was packing too many shirts, but I didn't know if I was gonna be cold or if I was gonna be warm. So I ended up wearing my more cold weather clothes, which I guess you can predict that if you look at the weather and take it seriously. Yeah, I was pretty comfortable the whole time. So the backpack is now empty. Nothing else is in here. These are the things that I didn't end up using. 2 short sleeve black shirts, shopping bag, snacks that I bought that I didn't eat, tweezers, a little primer, foundation primer. Okay, come on. Tweezers and nail clippers, they can go with my cosmetics. These are nothing, and I would way rather just have them and not need them than need them and not have them. So these, you can't negotiate with that. This took up so little space, and it's so, like, I got this at Manufactum. You just open it. Oh man, it's all messed up. Okay, separate, go back where you belong. Okay, so you have little compartments for pills. I have my ibuprofen and toothy tabs, which are like little tablets of toothpaste that you can use without having to carry a liquid. This is so small, so classy. I don't know, I don't have a problem with carrying that. It's an ibuprofen. Like, you don't want to interrupt your trip having to go to the pharmacy and find ibuprofen and then buy that when you can just have this nice little thing. In hindsight, I think I didn't need this. I didn't bring my computer. That was another thing. I don't know if I could have done this if I had to bring my computer, because I wouldn't have had space in the back for my shoes. But I also wouldn't have had to bring this. So these are light, nice to have. Okay, so now we're talking, everything on the table now is stuff that I actually used. I would say that's pretty good. Like, this is equilibrium. Could I have predicted that I wasn't gonna wear short sleeve shirts? Maybe. Would it have been nice to have a short sleeve shirt if the weather turned out to be really nice? I mean, this is like a hybrid. This is like a short sleeve sweater. So maybe that's the solution. This is also a recent purchase. I just bought this last week in Berlin thrifting. And I only had one pair of pants, just the one Uniqlo pants that I wore every day, including both travel days. We left on Friday morning. We were there all of Saturday, all of Sunday, and we left on Monday morning, and we're back to Berlin by 1 p.m. So we're talking 3 full days, pretty much. We got there by lunchtime on Friday, and we walked all afternoon and did some sightseeing, and 3 nights. So I think that's the perfect length of a trip to carry in the Fjallraven 15-inch laptop compartment backpack. Could I have done less? I mean, yeah, if I wanted to wear the same shirt over and over and over, I'm willing to do that with pants. I'm willing to do that with pants for up to 3 days, 3 nights. I don't think I'd be willing to do more than that with just one pair of pants. And the problem is, even if you have a laundry machine, you still need to wait for them to dry. So it's always nice to have 2 in those cases where you would be in a situation where you would do laundry. You need more than 1. A lot of people in Prague were wearing coats, and I was always wearing long sleeve or this sweater or both. So that kind of made me feel a little bit out of place, but it functioned. It worked that way, and it was fine. I don't know what the lesson is here. I guess I'll talk a little bit about how the backpack worked. If the backpack was any bigger, I think I would want a waist belt to redistribute the weight with everything I could put in here. But with everything that fits in this bag, it's like borderline. I do okay without it. And it was so freeing to leave the Airbnb with just this backpack and my camera around my neck and just walk to the train. And then our train compartment was really full and I could just put it on my lap and it was no problem. It worked out perfectly. Even when it's full, it's always pretty easy to zip it up because it has these leather pull tabs on the bottom. And somehow, like if I'm like, oh, I can't zip it, if I just grab that, I always am able to just get it all the way zipped up. This pocket has its own dimensions. You can fit a lot more in here than you would think. Same with the back. You're like, oh, my backpack's full. And then you open the back and you can still fit your huge book and your house shoes inside. And it's just amazing. It's a bit Mary Poppins. Like, look at that. You can still fit the shoes right here on top. Straps are comfortable enough. And it's a good looking bag. It's all black. It fits well with your travel outfit. So if you have that and then you have the little one, you don't need much more once you get to your destination. I really liked Prague. It was the first time we had ever gone, and we went on the EC171, which has the nickname the Berliner. And they have a dining car on there where a chef will make you hot Czech meals. And it's beautiful. You've got white tablecloths. You go through the Sächsische Schweiz, the Saxon Switzerland mountains along the Elbe River. And then you go through these calm, beautiful Bohemian fields as you cross over into Czechia and go towards Prague. Beautiful morning light coming through the windows. The food was really good. The service was excellent. And on the way there, when we were with my parents, we just sat in the dining car the whole time. We never even went to our seats. And the dining car was never full, which made no sense to me because why would you not make a whole experience out of that? Even if you just went to have a cup of coffee, to sit in that environment, it felt very old world, almost romantic to sit in this dining car and enjoy a meal. We had egg dishes, eggs with Parmesan and scrambled eggs and bread with butter and honey. Not good for vegetarians. That was the thing. There were not a lot of good options for us. But the egg dishes were like $7 or $8 a plate for like 3 chef-made eggs in this environment. Cannot recommend it enough. And I heard that they're changing the train. They're replacing these dining cars at the end of 2025, phasing them out. So if you get the chance to go to Prague on this breakfast train, the Berliner, before they do that, highly recommend. Yeah, and with Prague, I feel like a lot of the times when you go to a city, you're making a list of all the things that you want to see and do while you're there. And in Prague, there was so much that we were taking things off the list. We had just so many choices. We were so spoiled. We went to the Mucha exhibition, the Mucha Museum, where he was like the father of Art Nouveau. And we got to learn about his life and see all of his original lithographs, and that was really amazing. We did the World War I walking tour from Airbnb Experiences. What did we see? We saw Franz Kafka's rotating head. We saw guy riding upside down horse. We saw Franz Kafka on the shoulders of somebody with no face. Or maybe Franz Kafka had no face and somebody else was sitting on his shoulders. Lots of sculptures and lots of free stuff like that. The trams were beautiful and very historical. As a street photographer, my hands were just itching to take pictures everywhere we went, on every corner, of the people, of the architecture, of the streets. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed. What was the other thing we did? We walked past the dancing house. We walked across the bridge. We went up to the top of the bell tower of the St. Nicholas Church. We went to the Prague Castle, and I almost got yelled at for sitting on a ledge, even though there were no signs forbidding you from sitting on the ledge. It was so fun, and the weather was so good. It was perfect spring weather. I mean, it wasn't perfect because it was a bit before all the trees would be blooming, but it wasn't too hot. It was a little chilly for just a sweater, but it was workable, and we were walking so much, got in so many steps. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I would love to go back to Prague sometime. And all the food was so good. I thought it was going to be cheaper than Berlin because we got in an Uber from the train station to the Airbnb, and it was like $3. And I was like, okay, this is going to be cheap weekend. Turns out, no, all the food basically cost the same as it would cost in Berlin, but it was all really good. It feels like if you wanted to open a restaurant of any kind, you could do it in Prague. That was the vibe. And we went to this restaurant, this amazing restaurant where you would sit and a lady would come around and take your order, and then your food would arrive to you on a little electric train right in front of your seat. And you would just take your drink off, take your food off. It was so cute. I love that. But I love trains. So of course I love that. So overall, pretty good. I think I can improve. I mean, I obviously can improve a little bit, but it's a work in progress. And I'm excited to continue learning how to be a more minimalist packer. Yeah, I want to get to the point where I feel like it's perfect. I didn't carry anything that I didn't need, and I didn't wish that I had something that I left at home. That's where I want to get. Maybe that's unrealistic, and maybe I just need to accept that sometimes you're going to miss something and you're going to wish that you had something that you didn't bring, and that's just part of traveling, that you just have to be okay with being uncomfortable sometimes. Maybe a little colder than you would have been if you had brought your coat. And it sounds stupid, don't bring a coat when you're traveling. You should always bring a coat, but I don't know. Maybe that's just part of it. Because I don't think I'm doomed to be an overpacker forever. But I think I might need to manage my expectations and learn how to be okay with not everything that I could possibly need. I was really proud that I didn't buy much. I got this free postcard. I got a little enamel pot. I'll show you. Zach carried it home for me. Perfect for Q-tips. Come on. Is that not the cutest thing you ever saw? So, yeah. I was really proud that I didn't end up just like buying a ton of crap and then carrying it around back to Berlin, because sometimes I do stuff like that. And I didn't do that this time. So, bought a couple snacks I didn't use, but snacks are a good souvenir, don't you think? Yeah, so hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helped you somehow. And yeah, happy trails.